Calvin Burnett, and I want to welcome you back to yourweddinghub.com, the ultimate wedding site. And really, brides and grooms, you got to keep coming back because we want to give you all the information that's going to help you plan an over-the-top wedding day. Now, if you were with me yesterday, we were talking about budget and just how important it is to, before you start making any plans, booking any venues, you've got to figure out your budget. Well, today, I want to talk about a topic that is vitally related to that, and that is your guest list. Now, the place that you need to start when you figure out your guest list, and before I actually say that, let me tell you this. Nowadays, there's a real trend because of the fact that so many brides and grooms, in fact, 60% of them pay for their own wedding and all the costs incurred. There's a trend to smaller weddings, obviously. And in fact, there's a term that, I don't know if I coined this or not. I didn't hear anyone else use it, but I use it a lot, and it's boutique weddings. You know, a wedding of 40, 50, 60 people. I love them. They're intimate, small, beautiful weddings. You get to hang out with all the people. You know, there's no question about, is that a relative of yours? Or mine? I mean, they're a great way to go. But, you know, if that just doesn't work for you, then one of the first things that you need to do is to sit down and figure out your guest list. And here's how you need to do it, brides and grooms. You need to sit down and get your parents to do that and get everyone just to write their wish list. And that is if size of venue was no issue, if money was no issue, you could invite whoever you wanted. Who would it be? And so you put together that total wish list. The second thing you need to do is rank those people on that list. Rank them A, B, and C. Now let me give you a tip. Make sure when you send your invitations out you don't have the rankings on their invitation. Would not be a cool thing to do. But here's what the A, B, and C represent. The A tells you these are the people I just cannot imagine having my wedding day without these people being part of it. So those are obviously the first ones on the list. I mean, just the people that you don't want to stroke. And that, you know, when you're all said and done with that, take a look at the total list that you and your parents have all put together. And again, if money is no issue and size of venue, consider yourself extremely lucky. But if that's not the case, then you have to start pruning that list. And so by the ranking, go through the A's and add them all up. And if you say, hey, here's the venue we really want to have our wedding at, we can accommodate 150 people. We've only got 110 people on the A list once we've added them all together. So now you go to the B list and start adding them up. And if you've got to kind of go the other direction, then what you need to do is start looking at groupings of people and say, you know, we don't, well, like in the real simple weddings, I found an example in there. They said, you know, all of Mom's Bridge Club, we don't really need to have them at the wedding. So, you know, start going through the list and figuring out who you can start striking off that list. Now, one question that I just want to touch on before we wrap on today's topic is the question of should the guest list be 50-50? Well, if we were living in an ideal world, yes, that would probably be the case. But, you know, we're not. There's so many dynamics nowadays that affect those questions. For example, I've done many, many weddings where either the bride or groom had emigrated to our country, and maybe only a small handful of people were going to travel overseas to be part of the wedding day. So a 50-50 list, not realistic. And so in that case, obviously, it's going to be a little bit more one-sided than the other. Another thing that could affect it is you may have one, you know, the bride or groom that come from a very small family, small community of friends and neighbors, and the other is very large. So it's not a big issue. Just kind of take all of those dynamics into effect and get your guest list pruned down to the place that you say, yes, this is our total guest list. Very important first step in planning your whole wedding before you book venues, before you book anything else. The budget and your guest list, get that nailed down, and then start putting all the rest of the plans together, and you are going to have an over-the-top wedding day. I'll tell you what, you'll be glad that you took time to do this up front because it's going to make it so much easier as you go forward. Thank you for joining me on yourweddinghub.com. Brides, grooms, post your questions. Post your stories. We'd love to hear from them. So look forward to hearing from you and look forward to seeing you tomorrow on yourweddinghub.com.